For 3.5 billion years, the continuity of life on Earth has proved a miracle beyond comprehension. At the dawn of civilization, a single species, endowed with the gifts of insight and reason, would become master over nature's ancient order. For 40,000 years, civilizations both great and small, mighty empires, magnificent and wondrous, would rise and fall like the passing seasons. The one constant across the ages would be humankind's gathering of knowledge and wisdom, always evolving, always expanding.
There's a shift taking place. It's already happening.
We're living on such a tip of the iceberg of consciousness.
There's an awakening going on. We no longer can stay trapped in our small belief systems and structures and ways of being.
Civilization, a continuum marked by the relentless perfecting of art and invention, literature and science, medicine and the healing arts. Knowledge provoking new insight, insight provoking new frontiers. Wisdom would remain the true currency of humanity.
We're not just here to go through life, we're on a spiritual journey.
Each experience that a human being has is seen on a continuum of mind, body, and spirit.
Human beings would come to perceive much more than just the physical landscape. They would achieve mastery over the unseen realm of the human interior. The mind, the body, and the soul. With the key to awareness found, the door to a universe of new possibilities opened. And the true potential of the individual is seen for the first time. Imagine a place where people from all walks of life could easily find new answers to age-old questions about healing, health, and well-being. A place where people in need, or those simply looking to better understand the world around them, could turn. Imagine a place where the full spectrum of humankind's medical knowledge in the healing arts could be found. Imagine the Yellow Courtyard.
There's many different doorways a person can be coming through in seeking information or practical help within the world of the healing arts. We can be coming from a place of critical need. We can be coming from a place where we're healthy and would like to stay healthy. Or we can be coming from a place of curiosity and wanting to understand the inner workings of things, be it ourselves or the universe, more intimately.
For those with immediate needs, or those who are in crisis and in need of critical medical attention, the road ahead can prove especially difficult.
I'm Steve. I'm a personal trainer, and I was hit by a truck on my bicycle, breaking my back.
Steve Kostarowski went from being an extreme athlete to a patient at Sibley Memorial Hospital.
Prior to the accident, my life was not unlike any other 22-year-old athletic gym owner. In the early 20s, you feel pretty invincible.
With his back broken Unable to walk on his own, Steve was rushed to the emergency room.
It was hours in the emergency room waiting for something to take the pain away.
Diagnosed with a fractured wrist, Steve was released from the hospital. For the next 3 years, he would struggle through a confounding labyrinth of differing opinions and conflicting recommendations.
It's a shockingly difficult system to navigate. So what they end up doing is they end up becoming perplexed, and they end up putting together these ad hoc healthcare teams for themselves.
For Steve, nothing seemed to work. Frustrated and depressed, he sought the advice of a neurosurgeon.
He said, "You have to get this fixed. You just can't keep living like this."
It is very frustrating to be sick, to be ill, and feel that you have no way of controlling it.
For those in critical need, getting better is never simple. And without the support of a collaborative healthcare team, recovery can prove challenging.
It is now dangerous not to engage in your own healthcare, especially if you have any kind of situation of critical nature.
My name is James York. I work in underwater production, and I suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome.
Chronic fatigue syndrome is one of medicine's most puzzling diagnoses, a debilitating illness that mimics a wide range of seemingly unrelated diseases.
January 2004, I was working on a marine-based production called Into the Blue, and was underwater with a baited mop pushing sharks off. And I got really cold.
Originally diagnosed with pneumonia, James was prescribed an antibiotic and told he would soon feel better. He didn't.
It made me worse. The infectious disease doctor told me that there's no way I could still be sick because if you take a 5-day round of zithromycin that you're going to be better. Well, I wasn't better.
With no coordinated healthcare team to support him, he is alone, feeling neglected by the system.
99% of the time, you don't have the access. In my case, it was always very difficult to be with a practitioner who seemed to actually care. I mean, this from people who are called health care professionals.
James has been diagnosed with everything from an acute psychological disorder to a sinus infection. He finds himself in a situation that is all too common. Different doctors, different opinions, different diagnoses.
When you have like-minded practitioners working together, it's very validating. It's validating for you, and it's also validating when the client-patient goes from one to the other and gets a similar answer and support. They go, wow, I'm on track.
For Steve Kostorowski, the future is bright. In a moment of triumph, he would compete in and finish the 2006 Ironman World Championship in Kona, Hawaii. For James York, the way forward remains frustrating and frightening. His chronic fatigue pulling him down a little further each day.
There's a shift taking place in medicine. It's a mentality that's being replaced from an exclusionary mentality to an inclusionary perspective.
The general public is really desiring for more of a partnership orientation. They're more engaged in their healthcare process. They're asking more questions, and they're exploring other healing systems in addition to the benefits of modern medical science. It doesn't have to be an either-or approach.
Yellow Courtyard is a new kind of healthcare service. an integrated community of doctors and practitioners from over 200 different modalities, all working together to provide subscribers with an inclusionary approach to organizing, accessing, and understanding their personal healthcare needs and options. To learn more about the future of healthcare, visit us at yellowcourtyard.com.
I welcome people to come into a world that they have never even considered before. This isn't for sick people only. All of us can improve our health, we can improve our health care, and we can learn so much.
Curiosity can lead to a greater understanding and provide one with the ability to make informed decisions. The more we know, the more options we have.
I'm Mary Beth. I'm 39, and I'm pregnant with my second daughter. I am a massage therapist.
The birth of Mary Beth's first daughter, Sydney, was a difficult and traumatic experience. She was in and out of labor for 4 days.
When you go into a hospital, you say, okay, well, I'll have an epidural. Then you're also hooked up on a fetal monitor. So mobility is an issue. And for most women, being mobile during labor is the best way to get the baby to move down.
For her second child, Mary Beth took it upon herself to be more informed. She used her education to create a more personalized and empowering birthing experience.
Women aren't celebrated as tough birthing figures. That takes away from our choices.
Each one of my clients are the world's leading experts on themselves. And all healthcare practitioners are coming from the outside, trying to get a little bit of expertise on who they are.
Mary Beth chose to have her second baby at home. While a Western allopathic physician was part of her team, the delivery was managed by a midwife.
I came to non-traditional birthing from my ideals, just believing fundamentally that this was something that I could do.
This all stems from the patient. It stems from their story, their biology, their biography, their experience. All that creates a fabric, a tapestry to connect to.
More and more, people are realizing that they have the power, that they are the ones in control.
So needed to introduce people to all the different ways of healing self, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, the nutrition, the psychology, the medical. Let people choose for themselves.
People want to come from an empowered place, a place where they feel informed, to make their own decisions, to make their own choices.
For many people, this realization comes late in life. But the revelation is every bit as profound.
We're Marcia and Stan Klein. We're retired, and we spend our lives traveling.
Our pre-retirement life was pretty standard American. You know, we lived in the suburbs. We lived in Connecticut. We had 2 daughters. We each had an automobile. We both went to work.
One day, the Kleins came to an astonishing realization. Their life together had become uninspired and stressful. It was a defining moment that required a radical solution.
We fixed up our house, sold everything, sold the house. And when I handed over the keys to this nice young family with 3 children, and we took off, we got right in our cars and left, I was so happy.
The Kleins never looked back. Today they travel the world, going from one adventure to the next. They are living their dream.
They were in a moment when they weren't wishing their life away, and that feels good for them and for us. Everybody has emotions, everybody has a thought process, everybody has a physical body. Why not incorporate all those things towards whatever goal one wants?
And a lot of our travels, we only plan one point. And as we meet people and talk to them, we just find ourselves moving along in one direction or the other. We have freedom. We really have freedom. And that's the hardest thing to find in life, just to get up and say, we can do whatever we want to do.
We can strive for greater quality of life, greater meaning in this experience, because we're multidimensional beings. We can have healing on other levels of our being that improves not only our quality of life, but sometimes even our longevity.
On Valentine's Day 2007, Mary Beth Hastings would go on to give birth to a baby girl named Molly. It was an experience she will cherish for the rest of her life. Stan and Marcia Klein continue to explore the world and themselves. They go on asking, what's here now? Knowing full well the answer guides their next move.
What's really happening now on the planet is an evolutionary journey, and it's happening in every segment of life. And we're waking up from a personality-based reality into a soul-based reality, caring for others, expanding into wellness and health and taking care of ourselves. And that's evolution.
The Yellow Courtyard has over 20 healing departments, each featuring an array of collaborative, integrated, and customized medical and healthcare choices, with a complete continuity of care. To learn more about this perspective of healthcare, find us on the web at yellowcourtyard.com.
There is a great system in the body itself. It's very automatic. And if you listen to your body, believe me, gradually you start healing. And that system we have to learn. Listen to your bodies.
The ability of the mind to listen to and heal the body. Only recently have the scientists caught up with what the mystics have known for centuries. The disciplined mind is a doorway to an expanded state of consciousness and has the power to guide the physical body through experiences that would otherwise seem impossible.
My name is Jason Gordon. I'm 31 years old. I'm a healthcare provider and the founder of Yellow Courtyard.
Yellow Courtyard was launched in 2007, but it all began in the spring of 1999, when Jason was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer.
I remember where I was laying, I remember how I was holding the phone. I heard it in his voice. You know, you need to come in, and I heard beyond that. And so I did, and I was sitting there in his office when he told me that I had testicular cancer.
The diagnosis would afford Jason the opportunity to reassess his outlook on life. It marked a new chapter in his journey of self-realization.
Here I am, diagnosed with cancer, being told that if I don't have surgery tomorrow, this thing could get out of hand. And that doesn't give you a whole lot of time to think. There I was with just a tiny bit of background information, tiny bit of education in the world of the healing arts, needing to use my energy sparingly and also needing to be informed about what was happening. How do you manage that? even if you're energized and you have the background information to start making sense of this sea of knowledge.
Jason approached his condition with an inclusionary perspective, reaching out to a wide and seemingly divergent array of healthcare options.
I don't consider myself having gone Western medicine or allopathic medicine or gone alternative. I utilized surgeons and I utilized serious heavy chemicals and toxins in my body, chemotherapy, and I utilized acupuncture and Chinese herbs. It was all an in-the-moment decision of how things fit together.
Jason didn't stop there. He would integrate nutrition and meditation, along with other modalities, and would continue exploring, seeking out new perspectives and healthcare paradigms.
I did have to do my research. I did have to investigate a lot of things, and I did take it upon myself to bring all of those things together.
Jason matured his perspective on the possibilities of a collaborative and inclusionary healthcare service. A system that would embrace the full spectrum of the healing arts.
The shift that's taking place now is demand-driven. What's happening is the scope of what healthcare is expanding to include Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, Native American medicine, homeopathic medicine, chiropractic, allopathic and osteopathic medicine, forms of prayer and meditation in healing, different forms of hydrotherapy, different forms of the creative arts for self-expression in the healing process, functional medicine, the list goes on and on. So all of these things are now considered within the realm of possibility.
Jason's cancer diagnosis was the genesis for Yellow Courtyard. The experience gave him a new insight into the importance of including all possibilities and the power of collaborative healthcare. The mind, the body, and the spirit. These are the cornerstones of who we are. Together, they determine how we think, how we feel, and how we choose to move through life. But it's the mind that determines our destiny.
I'm Karina Ann Mirsky. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher and a cancer survivor. I think getting in touch with ourselves, having a really open state of mind, and then listening, and trusting ourselves. If it weren't for my inner reflection of meditation, and if it weren't for trusting the information that I received there, I might not be here right now.
Through yoga and meditation, Karina discovered the root cause of a troubling anxiety she'd been experiencing for some time.
The mind is the one fundamental element that has been forgotten. If we do not work with our mind, we won't be able to find that which we seek, for it is the main factor that experiences.
When you have an open mind and you're clear in that intention, you can pick up signs and signals from your body, and your mind can tell you something is wrong. Because if you live an integrative lifestyle where your body, your mind, and your spiritual being are working together, you'll usually get the right answers.
Karina Mirsky would be diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But through a combination of medical disciplines and technologies, she would overcome her cancer.
I beat this thing. I'm a cancer survivor, you know, and I fought it with everything that I had and with every resource that I had, and I fought it with a community of people, and I fought it with ancient techniques, and I fought it with the most modern Western medicine.
The faith comes from within. Believing in that this thing is going to cure me. This thing is going to take care of me. Whether it's medicine or meditation. Is the faith is the greater element in that. Health is wholeness. Wholeness of the body, the mind, and the spirit. Today, what I see in the world, people are not as a whole. That's why they are not healthy. Rather than being in peace, they are in pieces.
1,000 years ago, there were 300 million humans. Today, we are 6 billion. In a few decades, we will be 10 billion. An explosion of humanity, marking a shift in consciousness.
I think it's really about kindness and compassion, and then the wisdom will follow from that.
Our impulse to explore, to learn, to push the boundaries of understanding is limitless.
What brings true advancement is not dependent on external things, but inside the mind.
Modern civilization now offers us wondrous new technologies, advancements that have changed and challenged our ideas about the very essence of life.
There's a vast universe out there, and that universal intelligence is connected with the intelligence of our soul.
Everything that happens to us leads us somewhere. Everything.
The miracles of the healing arts, both ancient and modern, and the perceived paths to awareness, all point to an ever-expanding appreciation of the power of individual potential.
We have to see the faith in life itself is the great faith.
As individuals in this pursuit for well-being, we find methods both spiritual and worldly through searching. They are out there for the finding, if we look.
We have reached a new paradigm where science and spirituality have come together in a dazzling new age of understanding. Now, the scientist and shaman are one, and their combined knowledge available to all who seek it. We find ourselves in an age of limitless possibility. Our true potential at our fingertips.
To learn more, find us on the web at yellowcourtyard.com.